Okay, so question 2A, part 3, asks you, how useful is the surface area of the lake to predict the potential electricity generation of lakes in New Zealand? Justify your reasons clearly. So basically, is this scatter graph over here a good way of predicting how much electricity can be gained from a lake? Well, personally, so for this question, you can either say that it is useful or it's not useful. Now, if you have a look at this graph, it doesn't really seem to have any trend particularly. Like you've got these numbers that are kind of going up there, but then you've also got this fall down here too. You know, there's not really anything that you can find a real trend line going on. The only thing that you can kind of tell is that there is more dams that are in the lower lake surface area, but they produce a range of electricity really. So there's not really any. The only like this one up here and this one up here sort of seem to indicate that the bigger the surface area, maybe the bigger the capacity for electricity. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say it's not useful. The relationship is weak, and it's not really. There isn't really a relationship. That's not how you spell it. Is not strong, and there doesn't really seem to be a trend. DOES. Okay, so there's also a lot of variation. So some dams produce, not dams, are they? They're lakes. Some lakes produce a lot of electricity, some large, and some very little. So there's no real trend there. The other thing is that the surface area isn't really a huge indication of the potential for a lake to produce electricity anyways. There's a lot of other factors. So yeah, we might want to talk about that. There are other factors that could impact the lake's potential for electricity. So, for example, capacity. So a deeper lake may have a smaller surface area but higher volume. Okay. Another thing is like how many turbines, turbine numbers. So these are what the water goes through to generate the electricity. The drop. So this is the higher the drop, the higher the potential for it to produce electricity or fall of the water through the turbines. I mean, you don't need to go necessarily into detail because you may not actually know all these, but and also how much water can be made available. Okay, so if they have low rainfall, for example, you have less water. Yeah, so you may not be able to actually use it. Also, you may want to say something like there's only 20 data points here. Data points here. Need more data to make a really substantial point. Okay, so that is an excellent question. As with all of these, one valid reason for achieve, two valid reasons for merit, three valid reasons with reference to the graph for an excellence.